Okay, so we've heard much about the Qareen. Let's talk about who he is, what he needs, what is his connection in what we hear always with him being in our bloodstream, how we energize him, and how all of this, comes together from an alchemical perspective. So let's begin with who is the Qareen and what is he?
So Qareen comes from the word اقترن, somebody who is linked with you, somebody who is connected to you. From the the solution to Qareen, in order to resolve the problem between you and your Qareen, there is a problem. A problem doesn't mean a bad thing. A problem means a problem that you need to solve, like when
Pay
you're
attention.
given problems,
Yeah.
mathematical problem, right?
Yeah.
It's intentional. It doesn't mean the problem that we perceive as something bad. So it means a riddle. Look at a problem whenever you read problems in the Quran as things to solve, as riddles to solve. The more you solve those riddles, the closer you will, the better of a connection that you will have with your Qareen, because every time you solve these riddles, a new idea is unlocked.
So is he a jinn? I mean, many people say he's a jinn.
So
he lives
he's
in
the
your
hue
bloodstream,
in the
all
human.
this stuff.
He's the hue in the human. You're the man, he's the hue, and together you achieve human, the perfect man. When you have full synchronicity between the electromagnetic aspect of yourself and the biological aspect. And this comes from a place in science called bioresonance. When you achieve bioresonance, when you achieve bioresonance, you will achieve an optimum state of being.
Okay.
And that will basically be without when you harmonize the two. So you bring those two together. So in a way, you're when you say, what am I? You're not this body, because this body will go ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
Yes.
Right? So you're going back to the body is going back to earth. The moment a person dies, they call the body the cadaver. They don't call it a name anymore.
Yeah.
They do not say, give me Abdullah. They say, give me the body.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Abdullah, who weighed nothing and was
Has
actually
left the building.
but nothing. I mean, when you weigh the building, the building is just dead.
Yeah.
There's no beat.
Yeah, empty building.
So where does the Qareen takes you to? Qareen takes you to everything electrical, everything that is rhythmic, and everything that resonates.
Pulses.
The pulsator, the tariq, that's all connected to the Qareen. He's your E-man. He's your electric man.
Yeah. Iman as in E-man, like in E-girl, and also Iman, like in Iman and Ihsan.
Yeah, so the E-man is the man that is, that's after the Islam, you go into the Iman. And after the Iman, when you start achieving, you go into Ihsan.
Yeah.
Ihsan is being able to see.
Right.
So when you say, like for example, one of the names of Isa alayhi salam is Emmanuel. When you go to the Aramaic accent, which is an Arabic accent, Hebrew also is an Arabic accent.
Yeah.
Of course, not the Hebrew that is being spoken today. That is not Hebrew.
Yeah, that's Yiddish.
Today is Yiddish.
Yeah, Yiddish.
Mixed with some Hebrew, nevertheless. Hebrew is an expressive form, an expressive accent used by poets and people of encryption to send out those scrolls to those who are trying to figure out the game, the labyrinth.
Yeah.
The labyrinth maker speaks in riddles.
Yes.
So this is called Ibri. Abbara in Arabic, an shay means to express something. So what does that take you? It takes you through the expressway, and that expressway makes you a Hebron. Abbara. So it makes you from the people of the people who crossed.
Yeah.
That's why the cross is connected. Everything is hyper connected. So you look at everything, nothing is disconnected. You only need to find out how the connection is made. And the easiest way to achieve that is by frequency.
Yeah.
How do you do that? By frequency. When you find words that are hyper connected through the way they sound. They sound alike.
Yeah.
You know, like when you speak, like the
Phonetically similar.
yeah, like when the here the E-man is drinking beer.
Yeah.
So if you are in the West, you'll understand beer as an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
So go to the Sahara and tell him, I want drink from the beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That means
The
you
well.
want to drink from the well.
Yeah.
So Iman, well. What does that ultimately means?
Yeah. The well of
If
Iman.
You have to put yourself in his shoes.
Yes.
In an Iman's shoes, and then you become a mu'min.
Yeah.
See the beauty, how it all connects together at the end?
Yes.
So how do you become a mu'min? When you connect with your Iman. So you connect with your Iman, and then you start to go and look for what? You start to go and look for a drink
Yes.
to your Iman.
Yes.
So how do you drink? You drink from the pure rock, you know, which is called the spring.
Yes.
The spring is called the Safiya. Safiya is basically in the clear spring. Safa comes from the word Safa and takes you to Philo Sophia.
Yeah.
Philo Sufi. So Sufi people in like essentially were basically people who are searching for the Safa.
Yeah.
You cannot have clarity.
Yes.
You cannot have clarity without juice.
Right.
So they're looking for that juice. And what does that juice represent as per today's understanding?
Yeah.
And as we said, that the Quran is relevant for all times. So it will have those realities in here.
Yeah.
Resonating with what we know today. What we will know tomorrow is more.
Yes.
So it will still be relevant. So what is that juice essentially? The battery juice. That's why he said, I'm parched. I'm parched. Okay, what do you want to drink? I want to drink electricity. He's an E-man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need to
Electric
look for
man.
his heart, right?
Yes.
You need to give him a heart.
His stove, his oven, his fire, his fireplace.
He's a man that is indifferent. Like he's a robot. A robot is indifferent.
Yes.
Turn right, turn left. He'll do as you command him.
Yeah.
The commands, the reins are in your hands.
Yeah.
So how does that benefit you? When you give him the juice that will reciprocate, because you're quantumly entangled together, that will reciprocate in a better understanding all the electrical nuances that you were forbidden from. Because you're born and you have a great potential.
Yeah.
Right, that you can reach. So this potential can only be reached through entering paradise and understanding solving those paradoxes, and eventually achieving or understanding that spring, that water, you know, understanding what is that juice.
Yeah.
You go and you drink from that well, which so the well is called, when you have a very pure sort of water, you call it ma'un adhab.
Okay.
And when you look at the adhab in the book, it's always linked to hell.
Yeah, punishment, hell, fire. Yes, yes.
So
exactly.
ma'un adhab does have two sides. There's two duality. And then how do you unify them together? Well, you need to drink from the adhab, which is the current. See how it is a current?
Yeah.
And the electricity,
Is
we call it a current,
Yeah,
electrical current. So you need to feed your iman that electrical current.
Yeah.
So how do you achieve that?
Yeah.
By making all the interlinking, by linking things together
Yeah.
and using your brain with thought experiments, with more riddles, and that will make you extremely malleable in terms of brain perspective.
Yeah.
And
You create new
it will,
neural pathways and so on.
and it will give you plasticity,
Yes.
neural plasticity. So Emmanuel providing the juice to your
Iman.
Qareen,
Yeah.
to your Iman. So why does someone become bad?
Yeah.
Why does someone gets pissed off? Why somebody is no longer happy?
Yeah.
Why? Because his Iman lacks that juice. So what do people revert to?
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah. Mushrooms.
Yeah, but there's a
whatever, you
better
name
way.
it. Yeah.
There's a better way. Actually, there's a proverbial way which takes you to which brings you the proverbial alcohol. The alcohol that will not make your mind go away.
Yeah.
And that is feeding on those riddles, which in turn will give you the joie de vivre, which in turn gives you the joy of life, that will open up new horizons to you, and will make you on fire without needing any drugs, without needing any alcohol.
Yeah.
Because why? So whenever you are whenever any person is in a state of depression,
Yeah.
lacking energy, that means you're not fired up. You need more hearth.
Yeah.
أهلك الحرث والنسل.
Yes.
Again, you go to the Quran. The Quran contains everything, bro. Literally, the hearth is the hearth. Al-harth is the harvest.
Yeah.
Hearth, vest.
Yeah.
So hearth, vest, when you put a vest to heat yourself up,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To warm yourself up. So that's why he's frozen
Yeah.
until you bring warmth, until you switch on the
heat him up.
proverbial hearth in your body.
Yeah.
And that in turn will fire up your Qareen, who is who ultimately? Your brain.
Yeah.
Dhul Qarnayn. You have two hemispheres. It will all lead to the same thing. Once you fire up those sort of pathways more and more, what would happen? Something, it works like magic. Something magical happens. The more you use it, the more you say, okay, I'm more hungry, right?
Yeah.
The more you provide a drug, like
Yeah.
as an
Addiction.
example.
Addiction.
Exactly.
It's an addiction.
You become addicted
Yeah.
to solving more.
Yeah.
And that will in turn create new neural pathways.
Yeah.
That is done on daily basis. The more you engage yourself with the Quran, with the
Yes.
Hadith, and understand why Allah speaks in a cryptic way through the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the Quran, that will in turn lead you to understanding bigger concepts.
Yeah.
And bigger concepts are present.
Yes.
All you have to do is have the keys to open up those sort of become a man of understanding.
Like
So
Suleiman.
those are potentials, and you're a man of potentialities. So what is your potential depends on how much effort you put in.
Yeah. To unlock.
Yeah, so again, putting the legwork in there. So you eventually work out, how to bring the Energon cube. Where does this take us in terms of the Energon cube?
Yes.
Right? Because it's energy. And why every transformer who is a Qareen, who we're in the business of transmuting, right?
Transmuting. Yes. Yes.
So all also of fictional characters, anything that comes from imagination, will lead you to the same reality. Everything is true.
Yeah.
You just need to understand the face of the truth within anything.
Yeah.
So you can either take, okay, wow, you're wowed with something, and take the superficial wowness, or you can dig deep and say, okay, what does that mean from a deeper level, from an alchemical level, from a transmutive level, right? So that will lead you to understand the Energon cube,
Right.
right?
Right.
So the Energon cube is represented in Islam in the form of the Kaaba, right?
Yes, the cube, the black box.
The black box.
Yes.
So you need to understand that Holy Grail again, which is Kaaba, by the way, is the Holy Grail. Because Kaaba is Kaaba, which takes you to the Holy Grail, that otherwise known as the Holy Cup. Kaaba is cup.
Yeah.
And Kaaba is also an old Egyptian accent, which is an Arabic accent. The old Egyptians are the Arabs of the Nile. They're called the Arabs of the Nile. So what does it consist of? Ka and Ba. You know, Ka is the spirit, and Ba is represented by the soul.
Yeah.
Right? So when you put them together, you have Kaaba. You have the completion.
Yeah.
The linkage between the two. So the bird man, which is the Ba, also is represented as the Ba, like the father.
Yeah.
That's why you have the onomatopoeia with words like Kaaba and Baba and Hasa and Dama.
Yeah.
Those are all words that in their repetition, looping them will make you understand deeper realities.
Right.
And they're all rhythmic realities.
Yes.
Resonating realities.
Yeah.
So what does it do when you do the tasbih? What is the tasbih? Tasbih is looping.
Yeah. Repetition.
Okay, I'm not just gonna mindlessly do tasbih and not understand what's the truth behind it.
Yeah.
Tasbih is looping, is mulling. That is the fine port, the fine wine that you keep swirling and you smell, and then you take on, you drink it.
Yeah.
That's the proverbial drink.
Yes.
Of course, everything is halal for you at this from a proverbial perspective. You avoid so the Sharia came to preserve this game, and you do not veer away before time is up.
Yeah.
It came here to preserve your status and to make you progress into higher states of consciousness, higher being. So when it's all said and done, your score is huge.
Yes.
You know, the XP points.
Your high score.
Yeah, you're a high scorer.
High scorer, yes.
That's why you have the Olympics.
The winner.
You are playing the Olympics now.
Yeah.
But if you don't pay attention to it, you'll just miss it. Blink and you will miss it.
Yeah.
So that's when you achieve harmony between you and your Iman, right?
Yeah. Your Qareen.
Yeah. When you bring in the Energon cube. Because if you look at Iman, and he is your Musa. Because Allah said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابِ فَلَا تَكُنْ فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّن لِقَائِهِ. We have given the book, the manual, the Emmanuel, to Musa. So do not be in doubt from meeting him.
Yeah.
This is addressing the reader. Because here, whenever you read this, there's no one that is being addressed. So basically this is directed towards the reader. When the reader understands this, then he will work towards meeting his Musa, his Iman. And Musa said, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir.
Yes.
And khayr and kharir is rooted from one word, which is the electricity. Again, the sound,
the current.
The current is called khar. Yeah. So kharra and khariru, kharirul ma.
Yeah.
And
the water current. Yeah.
Okay.
Flow of
water current.
Yeah.
But what is water to a robot? Is electricity.
Yeah.
What is water to you right now as a
life.
human?
Yeah. It's your life drink. Your drink as a human, the body, is water.
Absolutely.
Right? If he's the E-man, then he's electric. He needs current.
He needs
That's
juice.
what he needs drink.
He needs
That's his drink.
That's his river.
Yeah.
Filosofia. So that spring that Allah speaks about with Musa, he says, فَضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْحَجَرِ. And then at the beginning, there's imbijas and then there's infijar. So imbijas Allah uses two words here. So imbijas means there's trickle.
Okay.
When you
Just
hit
a drip, a slow drip.
So this is when you look at it, what do you hit that causes a trickle? You hit, like, you're hitting something and it causes trickle of electricity.
Yeah.
When you think about it from this perspective, it changes everything. So when you hit that stone that produces electricity, what is the stone that produces electricity?
Yeah.
What would that be then? That would be a piezoelectric stone.
Yes, a crystal.
That is a crystal.
Yes.
That's why you need to go into the cave of the crystals and get your own crystal.
Yeah.
Which will provide you with the energon. It's the energon crystals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes.
So those are done by what? By rhythmic nature of hitting.
Yeah.
With the hitting, with the pressing.
Yeah.
So that's why you do press and then you produce
electricity.
Water.
Yeah.
So when you, it's a riddle again. When you press the stone, in turn you produce electricity. The more you press that stone, the more you produce the electricity.
The stronger the flow of current. Yeah.
You feed your iman, right? And then this guy says, okay, if this guy is feeding me, why should I be bad?
Yeah.
He's indifferent.
Yeah.
Because he is also Dhul Qarnayn. He's the why do I say he's Dhul Qarnayn? Because Allah said in Surah Al-Kahf, when Al-Khadir met with Musa, and this is all like the most cryptic surah
very cryptic
in the Quran.
Yes.
What does he say at the end? He says in the end, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ. First of all, he says, هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا. So I will tell you the reason behind what you were not able to grasp earlier.
Yeah.
Why? Because this understanding will come in deep time, in Kairos. Because you have Chronos, which is time, and Kairos is deep time, which is the right time. There'll come a time, Musa, and you'll understand this.
Yeah.
Musa did not have then juice enough, if you will, to understand, to comprehend. You know, if you look at Musa as your brain, as Dhul Qarnayn, the one who has the two
horns.
The two horns.
Yeah.
And funny enough, if you look at the way a lot of the alchemist artists in the Renaissance, and how they depicted Musa, they depicted him always with two horns. You can
two horns, also like two contact points of the battery, or two ends.
That's why he has
the
Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, and you arc electricity between two terminals, if you will.
Exactly. You just have to look at things with a new lens, as we spoke in earlier podcasts.
Yes.
So where would this take you? Why Dhul Qarnayn? So people think, okay, who's this Dhul Qarnayn? Dhul Qarnayn, bro, is with you all the time.
Yeah.
You just have to realize it. He's your brain. But you need to understand, once you grasp that
the
concept,
right hemispheres.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's Dhul Qarnayn. So you link the Qarnayn, and you will achieve the Ark of the Covenant, which is linking the two hemispheres, the right and the left hemisphere together, achieving synchronicity, which will bring about harmony, because then it will bring about the rain of khair, right? So there's two types of rain. There's the rain that will take out everything, the deluge
flood,
and there's the rain that will make everything green again, right? So brain. So the whole thing is based on the brain. And brain is what is sitting in a cave called the cranium. And the states of brains are basically measured in hertz, which are cycles,
oscillations,
and oscillations measure what? The echo. It's an echo chamber. So what is what is the idea that is echoing in your head right now? That is like when you play ping pong between you and yourself to try to understand something.
Yeah.
So in order to heighten that sense, you need to play more.
Yeah.
More ping pong, please.
Yeah.
So in order to play more, you need more juice, right?
Yes, exactly.
So if you do not have power, you'll be lackluster.
Yeah, how can you solve tougher riddles if you don't have the power to do so?
Eventually,
you need larger vocabulary, larger, an ammunition pile to be able to solve.
Which
Polyglot,
goes back to that
knowledge,
beginning,
right? Yeah.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
forums of the Greeks and so on, the Renaissance.
The whole thing is electricity. It's based on electricity.
Yeah.
We are electromagnetic beings. Like the impedance, the oscillation, the rhythm, the circadian
auras,
rhythm,
chakras, all this stuff. It's all electromagnetic fields.
Parasympathetic nervous system. Everything is based on foreground and background.
Yeah.
So how do you enhance your background operation? How do you enhance those processes? Is by using a scripture.
Yeah.
From the maker of this toy.
Yes.
That is called Adum.
Yes.
That is called Dumya.
Yeah.
Adam. Based on the word Dumya.
Yeah.
Which is toy.
Dumya is a puppet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll become the puppet master.
A puppeteer.
Yeah.
The Pied Piper.
Exactly. So what are you doing here? There is a game that is being played between you and your higher self. And the higher self is another copy of you. You're playing a 4D chess.
Yeah.
Every time you solve a riddle, you're given a clue. And that clue will get you closer and closer to your highest self, which is the highest potential. And how do we measure electricity?
Yeah, with potential.
Potential,
yes.
So the whole thing is super connected. All you have to do is make the link.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, then basically making the link, eventually you become, I'll wrap up with this real quick.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll achieve a connection with Musa.
Yeah.
Your Iman.
Yeah.
Emmanuel. Because he'll become well.
Yes.
Your Iman is well.
Yes.
So he becomes a Isa.
Yes. So good Iman.
Yes.
Best Iman.
So an Isa becomes what? He becomes resurrected.
Yeah.
Right? He comes down.
Yes.
And Isa comes down as per the prophecies, which is sign.
Yeah.
Of Qiyam al-Sa'a. So we'll talk about Sa'a a bit more.
Yeah.
But what would a Muhsin will achieve? Because you have Islam and then you have Iman and you solve Islam. You've done everything, the due diligence that you need to do. You've been a good boy, a good girl, whatever you've done.
Yeah.
And then congratulations, you've upgraded yourself into the stage of Iman. And then you've understood Iman, you kept on doing this game, you kept on playing, you kept on learning. It can only be done by learning. There's no other way.
Yes.
There's no one there's no one button solution. You need to put in the work and understand all the vocabulary.
Yes.
Because it's all based on etymology. It's all based on the beginning of time when God taught Adam all the names. So the names hold all the secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about the names in prior episodes as well. Asma'a kullaha is the phrase in the Quran, which is, he taught him the names of everything, basically. And the names hold the keys to deciphering and to unlocking secrets of things.
To transcending.
them, exactly.
Transcending.
Crossing them.
And going into higher steps.
Yeah.
So where would that take you eventually? You did your Iman work.
Yeah.
Iman work is a lot of work. You've achieved harmony.
Yeah.
You've achieved synchronicity. You've locked in.
Yeah.
You've zeroed in. This then will take you into the stage of Ihsan. The stage of Ihsan is being able to see.
Yeah.
And this is the stage that is the highest stage. The stage of ihsan is seeing the background,
Yeah.
seeing the ghaib, what was not you were not able to
Permitted
see before.
Yeah.
Seeing behind the curtain. So what would that do to you?
Yeah.
That synchronicity, that hybridization between you and the iman will create something called a muhsin.
Okay.
You become a muhsin. A muhsin, when you put your intonation and becomes with the shadda, and you have a muhassin,
Yeah.
you become an improver of other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then what will that lead you to? The stage of abqari. The stage of abqari.
عبقري حسان.
عبقريا حسان.
Yeah.
متكئين على رفرف خضر وعبقريا حسان. عبقري means genius. That's when the jinn is linked with the man, and you achieve the perfect human.
Yeah.
You become the genius. You achieve your full potential, and then you're able to help people at larger scale.
Yeah.
And then you're able to even when you go to the word عبقريا, this is linked to the Wadi Abqar in Arabia, which is the Wadi of Jinn, the Wadi of genius.
Yeah.
So whoever that goes into that valley becomes a genius. They say he becomes brother with the jinn.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Harmony with the jinn, with the robot.
Yeah.
With your iman. That means you've harmonized with your iman.
Yes.
What would that lead you to? Perfection. Perfection at everything you do.
Yeah.
Because Allah says, وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. When you throw any throw, it'll be a perfect throw. When you play anything, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
You'll achieve perfection.
Yes.
And that is the complete human being, which is what Allah spoke about. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ السَّافِلِينَ. أَسْفَلَ السَّافِلِينَ means the lowest of resonance. Then he achieves higher resonance if you follow the scripture of the maker of this device.
The manual.
And then you will be able to achieve the genius state. Abqari and abqarinahu means he filled up his qareen. He gave the energon belt, the energon cube.
Yeah.
He gave
to his
the fire.
Yeah.
He gave a brew.
The drink. Yeah.
He gave from the well to his qareen and made him well.
Yeah.
And then he became Emmanuel.
Yeah.
All stages. This is when you become a Isawi person, when you become a Musawi person. Those are all accolades.
Yeah.
Like, you study so much and then you become Dr. Muhammad. This is when you become Isa Muhammad.
Yeah.
You achieve those like letters, and then you gain those.
Grades.
Yeah, those are grades.
Grades.
And then at the end, congratulations, you have graduated from the university that will make you a genius. And then you're able to be good at everything throughout your life.
All right. Very, very good. Very interesting discussion. Thank you very much, brother.
You.
And we'll see you in the next episode.